So we're going to take a little like a head, neck and shoulders, and I would suggest sitting comfortably. So you might want to sit on a pillow or a yoga block, roll your mats a little bit so that you can find a comfortable position. Yes, hi Hazel, yes, do. Sit on your chair and do this, that's totally fine. Feet planted, nice and parallel if you're sat in a chair. If you're in anything else, just make sure you're comfortable so those sitting bones are easy. An extra cushion of padding, because you just told me you fell over this morning, so do look after yourself. If you've got a session tomorrow, we'll be fine. We're going to find lovely long length through the back line of the body. You're just going to check in with how the head, neck and shoulders feel. You want a kind of sense of awareness of where your head is existing. So mine is probably existing a little bit forward. So if I come side on so you can see, if I sit lovely and tall, yeah, it's a little bit forward. I've just caught it. It's a lot forward. So that's pretty normal. I'm slightly obsessed with, my phone every so often, my laptop early mornings is what's been going on. So I really want your head back over, nice and evenly over your pelvis, your rib cage over your pelvis, your shoulders over your rib cage, and then your head and the crown of your head, lovely and stacked. And we can have a little wriggle around to do this. Yes. So we're going to sit lovely and tall as possible. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to bring our hand, doesn't matter which, back behind your head. So you can play around with which one you want to do and press your head back into your hand. So in doing that already, we often get a little bit of length. So you can feel someone sort of pulling you by the scruff of your neck. Press your head into your hand into your head. And you want to be able to breathe here, so don't be holding your breath either. So you can have a little movement around. I'm going to place my other hand on the bottom of my rib cage, because in order to get my head back into my hands, I might be keeping that shortness in the back of the neck and flaring my ribs. So if I want to keep this relationship going on, oh, that feels awful, and press head back into hands, in order to do that, I might do this and be like, yeah, I'm doing it, Leanne. So what we want is that you press the back of the head, lovely long neck, give it a squeeze, say hi to it, into the hands, hand into head, and then keep your other hand gently stroking your bottom ribs down. So you can already see we're trying to find just a little bit more length. And then I would suggest moving in it, because you live in movement. So you've just got this gentle bit of pressure, hand into head, head into hand, soft ribs. So just take little wriggles, little yawns, maybe a little look down, turning around. Lovely, and then release. Can you keep your head there? We're going to switch to the other side because arms get a little bit tired. So let's bring your other hand back behind your head, head into hand, hand into head. That's it, soft ribs. And same thing, take it for a little bit of a walk. This pressure is still there and it feels like that. They've got a little push. They are finding each other and the contact is real. It's not relaxed. The hand's not just resting. It is pressing into the back of the head. The head is pressing into the hand. You're having a little wriggle around. Trying to find this length. Now, head, neck and shoulder stuff can come from lots of different things going on. Your posture. You might need to release your thoracic more. We can come into that in different days. We do that a lot in our props class over the ball. Good. Lovely, and then just sit nice and tall. Then from the seated position, keep the spine lovely and long. Again, feel like someone's pulling you up through the back of your hairline, and you're just going to soften your chin to your chest. Take a little peek down at your shins, your knees, the floor, your feet, wherever you are, and then bring your gaze and your eye line up. Take a little peek up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Excuse me. That's it. So it's just a little shine of your chest. And then back through to center. Take a look over your shoulders, one at a time. I'm always too scared to say right and lefts now because there's several cameras filming this and they all do the other thing. So check that again. Just to notice how they feel. And then what about ear to shoulder? And just notice if that's shoulder to ear, if your one side wants to help out a little bit. Ear to shoulder. This is always really slow. Ear to shoulder. Good. Come back through to center. Give the shoulders a little shrug. Have a little wriggle out. So you might want to do that jaw release work that we did. It's in a video a few scrolls down, using the spiky trigger point balls. It's a really great jaw clencher, jaw grinder release for all of us. And that went straight down into the neck. But then we can take a little look at just mobilizing. So you're going to soften your chin to your chest, and you're going to let your chin draw a semicircle from right shoulder to left shoulder. Now the whole while you're sat still on those sitting bones, lovely and tall through the spine, soft ribs, planted feet if you're sat at your desk or your office chair, that's it, maybe your dining room. Letting your chin roll from one to the other. You don't have to go all the way out, you don't have to show off, you don't need to go to end range. Stay nice and comfortable. The chin drops down and around it. Just notice what you notice. Great, and then come back through to center and bring your gaze all the way up. Again, shuffle if you need to. If you're sat cross-legged and you need to change your crossing, please do. Have a little wriggle out. Great, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to send this arm out. Big stop sign. It's not directly out to the side of me. That's not where my arms live. They live here in front of me doing stuff. So it's got a slight diagonal, very small angle, and we're putting flexion into the heel of the hand. Now that might be enough. You might notice stuff, especially if you're really flexing out into that hand. 4 neural lines all the way up into the neck are going, okay, great. Then you're going to let your head drop away from those fingertips. So you're softening down towards your shoulder, opposite shoulder. And you're still flexing out. And again, sometimes that's enough. That's where I could definitely hang out and feeling things, having to give, having to find length and space. If that's feeling okay, the other arm can come up and overhead. Find the ear and it just hangs and drapes. So you're not pulling, we're just added a little bit of weight. Extra gravity, and that might be enough. But maybe you want to go further. Can you then bring this hand down and push the back of your hand, Neil's side, into your lower back. Now here you get the front of your collarbone opening. And if they've been rounded and shortening, you've been really busy lately, kind of getting work done and not really looking after yourself, that's normal. So you want to press this hand into your lower back. Just let the head drop away. And you'll feel sometimes front of the collarbone is having to yawn out wide. And you're very welcome to kind of give it a little massage if you want to check in. Sort of a lymph gland area here, so you can just give it a little brush. And if that's feeling okay, you can start to take a little look down. It's very small. Just a little look. This is still quite a heavy head, and this is a draping arm, like it's, I have to kind of grip my fingertips around my ear a little bit there. Good. Now what's really important to get out of this is that we drop this arm first, bring it back in underneath, and we help support, bring our head back on top of our shoulders. This arm can come through, and we just have a little check-in. And we usually notice a little bit more length. I'll just even my t-shirt up so it's not like I've been pulling out my t-shirt. And just a bit more ease. So again, take a little look. Hopefully this is finding a little bit more length. Side to side, ear to shoulder. We know it's happy that way. I'm pulling a face because I need to do the second side. Oh, definitely. Have a shake out. So then the other arm goes out, stop sign. This one just lives a little bit naturally forward for me because of a shoulder injury in the past. Good. And flex. Good. And you're always going to feel more on one side than the other. There's stuff going on. This is your writing hand, or this was that arm that had that. That's totally fine. How would it feel then to let the head drop away from the fingertips? Can be quite neural. Play around with it. Still, like I said, definite stop sign. Nothing's coming through. If that's feeling okay, this arm comes up and over. Take a little hold of the ear. Let this elbow drop and drape away. Curve your head isn't forward. Come back, stack tall over your sitting bones. And then when you're ready, this hand comes back and into your lower back. Press it into the lower back. And it might feel different. It might be further along the top. It might be across the front on this side. We're aiming to find that balance, but they've got different things they need to unravel within themselves. Your shoulder girdle, so your collarbone, your glenoid humeral joint, your shoulder blade and scapula. And that's just the bones. And then we talk about your pec minor and pec major, your trapezius, your rhomboids, your lats, your serratus. And that's just the ones we can poke. You're just having a little wriggle off here. When you're ready, how does it feel to send your gaze down and up? Sometimes we have little click clunks going on, sort of funny sounds. That's okay. Breathe into it. Just checking in what it feels like to help find this extra space. Now remember, this top hand has to drop to the floor, drop to your side. Then it has to come in and help you pick that head back on top. I like to kind of get both, like I've given it a reset, and just have a little shake out. Let your head come back. So imagine you're up against your headrest in your car, you're back up against a wall. You can play around with this to find it again. That's it. Take a nice big deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, soften and sigh. Imagine these shoulders are dropping away. They've got a little bit more length. That's it. And again, just gently take a little look down. And center. Slightly up. And center. Over one shoulder. And center. And the other. And center. Ear to shoulder. Center, ear to shoulder. So there might be some change already, but this might be something you need to repeat tomorrow, and then check in with line with your soft spiky balls or your soft over ball, or there's other ones that we have on Sona TV. I'll put them up as well that can help you. So you want the variety in doing your head, neck and shoulder releases, but you want it every day. So the variety, but the consistency of practicing that release, especially if you know that when you get so involved with something, you get so into it, any sort of awareness of what the rest of the body's doing kind of goes out the window. So just keep bringing yourself back now. Check in how it feels to sit lovely and tall, stacked over the sitting bones. Even if the neck maybe wants to go there, notice that it has an awareness and an option to draw back now. Maybe tuck your chin back a little bit towards your spine, not down. So that's different. We've been doing head nods. Draw the chin back. Imagine someone's pulling you up from the scruff of your neck, and just take a few big deep breaths here. This you can definitely do in between your sitting postures, your desk work, your phone calls, your emails. Just a little reminder of the length you've got and where the crown of your head wants to live. Above the dome of your mouth, above the dome of your diaphragm, above the dome of your pelvic floor. And yeah, give it a little go. Let me know how it feels whenever you get to do this, guys.